Hello students, good morning all of you. Today in our chapter we are studying about the electric charges and fields. See, in our previous chapters are very easily explained by us and you are following my lessons. I am so thankful to you. And today we are going to learn about the electric charges and fields. So this is class 12 chapter which is important for the board examinations and as well as the IIT and NEET. So but today I am explaining this chapter the purpose of only the board examinations. Okay. So coming to the topic, that is electric fields and charges. Electric fields and charges or electric charges and fields. Electric charges and fields. At first now we have to explain about the charge. So what is a charge? So charge is nothing but the property of the matter. Charge is nothing but a property of matter which experienced or affected by the electric and magnetic fields. So this is the charge. So charge is nothing but property of the matter which experienced or affected by the electric and magnetic fields. Right? So the process of charge delivered to the another body, that is the electrification. What is that? Electrification. So what is meant by electrification? Electrification, it is nothing but the process to transfer or deliver the charge to the another bodies or one body to another body. This is the electrification. Right. So here the flowing of electrons should be leads to us current. The flowing of electrons leads to electric current. Right? So this is about the charge and this is about the electrification and this is about the current. So what is the current? The current, it is meaning that the flowing of electrons leads to electric current. So it can be said to be flow of electrons is called as electric current. So how we can deliver the charges from one body to another body? So very commonly every particle or every object in the nature should made up of tiny particles, right? So every object in the nature should be made up of the tiny particles. That should be positives and negatives. Okay, so these positives are known as the protons and these negatives are known as the electrons. Okay, so for suppose if we have taken any atom, an atom consisting of both protons and the electrons. Protons inside of the nucleus. And electrons which are rotating around the nucleus in a circular orbits. So here one thing you have to see, the number of protons and or number of protons, it is meaning that number of positive charges. Number of positive charges and the number of electrons, it means negative charges. So here the number of positive charges and the number of negative charges are equal. So hence hence the atom always electrically neutral. Is it right? Because of the number of protons, it means positive charges, the number of electrons, it means negative charges, always equal, they can be binded. So that's why the atom itself always electrically neutral. So now we are going to learn about how the charges are delivered from one body to another body. So there are some methods are there. First one, it is the charging by friction. And the second one, it is charging by conduction. Charging by friction, and another one it is charging by conduction. So in very common, so whenever the plastic body should be rubbed with some woolen object, so then some charges will be transferred one body to another body. So whenever the charge will be lost by the body, then the body will lose some charges, then it can get positive charge. It lost some electrons, then it can get the positive charge, and the weight of the body should be definitely decreases. So this is very important point. Whenever the charged body will be losses some electrons from the surface of it, then the weight of that body should be decreases. The weight should be decreases. Right? So due to the rubbing to each other, the another body, if the one body will be losses some electrons, the other body will be acquire some electrons. So if a body acquires some electrons, getting some electrons, then the body should be negative charges. Will get negatively charges. Whenever a body should be getting some electrons, then it can said to be negatively charged body. If the body can be loses some electron, it can be said to be positively charged body. Okay, so this is the process. We have to transfer the charges one body to another body. So at how much time it will be taken to transfer the bodies? So the number of positive and negative will be equal. At that time, the electrons will be transferred one body to another body. First, suppose charging by the conduction. If two bodies are having charge Q1 and charge Q2, so these are different charges. These are different charges of the bodies. If they will be kept nearby them, so that the charges will be flowing until they are equal. So here the charges travel. It is Q1 plus Q2 by 2. Okay. So this is the process of the transfer of the charges. So the charges are aware in the nature, that is positive charge and to the negative charge. Positive charge and to the negative charge. Positive charge and negative charge. Positive charge and to the negative charge. So here the positive charge, it is meaning that a body can be loses some electrons from the surface of that, then it can said to be positive charge. So if two positive charges, it means like charges are always repelled to each other. Two equal charges or like charges always repel to each other. So coming to the negative charge is nothing but the charge which is gained by some other charge. So if the electrons will be gained by the body, then the body is said to be negatively charged body. So here also, if two negative charges, so these are also like charges. The like charges will always repel to each other. Okay. And unlike charges will always attract to each other. Okay. So like charges are repel to each other, unlike charges are attract to each other. So this is main important. And so here the properties of the charges. So the charge always be conservative. This is the first important property of the charge. So it means the charge can neither be created. Nor be destroyed. The charge can neither be created nor be destroyed. The total charge of a body, the total amount of charge is always constant. Okay, the total amount of charge is always constant. So this is the conservation law of charge. And one more point, that is charge is quantized. So this is most important question which for board examination, the charge is quantized. So what is the quantization of the charge? The charge of an electron in a nature is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So here coulomb is the unit of the charge. Right? The French scientist Coulomb discovered the study about the transformation of the charges from one body to another body. Right? So Coulomb is the scientist name. It is the unit of the charge. The charge of an electron in the nature, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. So this is the availability of the charge of an electron in the nature. So what is the quantization here? If any body in the nature, having the charge in integral multiples of the a charge of an electron. So this is the quantization of the charge. If any body in the nature having the charge in integral multiples of a charge of an electron. So here the charge of your body, that is capital Q, right? The charge of electron, that is small e. The charge of your body in the nature, it is equal integral multiples of a charge of an electron. Integral multiples, that is n. So here we put the plus or minus Ne, where E it is the charge of an electron. E it is the charge of an electron. Integral multiples of the integer means where n it is equal 1, 2, 3, 4 up to whatever the number it is. So integral multiples of a charge of an electron. First suppose the charge of the pen here. So either it is 1 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb or 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb or 3 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, whatever the value it is here. But it will not be available in 1.5 into 10 to the power 1.5 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb and 2.5 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So this is not the integer value. So here the integer value is 1, 2, 3 up to whatever the value it is. So this type of nature it is the quantization of the charge. Right? Hence the charge is quantized. And now we have to find out how many electrons are consisting in 1 coulomb of charge. How many electrons are consisting? So, and it is the number of electrons. How many electrons are consisting 1 coulomb of charge? Now we have to find out. So this is very important questions for the board examinations. If you are AP or if you are Telangana, so these are very important questions, right? So how many electrons consisting in 1 coulomb of charge? Let us find. Right, from the quantization of the charge, we can say that Q it is equal plus or minus Ne, where n it is the number of electrons. Here. Where n it is equal, you can write that where here E it is equal charge of an electron. So that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So here, what is that? The charge of your body, it is given that 1 coulomb. 1 coulomb of charge, how many electrons is consisting? So then from the above equation we can write that n it is equal Q by E. So Q it is the 1 coulomb by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. The coulomb will be, let's cancel. Then it can sit to be 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. This is the number of electrons in the 1 coulomb charge. If 1 coulomb charge consisting how many electrons here? How many electrons? 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. So how big number it is? I understand? 1 coulomb of charge having the electrons 6.25 into 10 to the power 18. Very big number of electrons. Got it? Right. And next, the property of the charge it is invariant. So what is invariant? It will not be changes. Invariant means not variant. Invariant, opposite of the variant. So it is meaning that the charge will not change by the motion. The charge will not change by the motion from one place to another. So that is the invariant. Okay. So now let us see. Coulomb's inverse square law. So this is most important question for the board examinations, that is 4 marks question. right? So what is the Coulomb's inverse square law? If two charges Q1 and Q2 are separated in a small distance, what is the distance? That is small distance, that is R. Then the force of attraction or the repulsion should be acts between them. First, suppose if these two charges are the positive charges, then the force of repulsion should be acts. It is the like charges. If these two charges are unlike charges, then the force of attraction should be acts between them. So here, whenever two charges should be separated in a small distance, then the force of attraction or the force of repulsion is always directly proportional to the magnitude of the quantity of two charges. Magnitude of two charges or quantity of two charges. And also this force of attraction or the repulsion should be inversely proportional to the square distance between them. So let us write one thing here. If two charges are separated in a small distance, then the force of attraction or the repulsion should be directly proportional to the magnitude of the two charges, proportional to the product of magnitude of two charges, and also it is inversely proportional to the square distance between them. So this is called Coulomb's inverse square law. Once again, if two charges are separated in a small distance, then the force of attraction or repulsion should be directly proportional to the product of magnitude of two charges, and also it is inversely proportional to the square distance between them. From first point we have to write that F is directly proportional Q1 into Q2. This is the product of two charges. And also F is inversely proportional to the square distance between them, 1 by R square. Right? From these two, you can write that. So please note it, all of you. And it is directly proportional to the Q1, Q2 and inversely proportional to the square distance between them. From these two, we can write that. How we can write that? So F is proportional Q1, Q2 and F inversely proportional 1 by R square. Therefore, F proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square. Right? So if proportional should be, let be omit that, F is equal to some constant into Q1, Q2 by R square. So this is the Coulomb's inverse square law. And here K is the constant. It is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Where epsilon naught, it is the epsilon naught. So here 0 it is means naught. So it is the permittivity of the free space. Permittivity of the free space. Free space, it is means vacuum. Permittivity of the free space. So this can be said to be epsilon. This can be epsilon. Where you have to put 0, epsilon naught. Okay, so then the Coulomb's inverse square law should be written as, the K should be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So this is the force of attraction or the repulsion should be acting between two charges, where two charges are separated in the vacuum. So here epsilon naught, it is equal 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12, here Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So this can be here, and F into R square by Q1 Q2. R, it is the distance, it is meter square, and force, it is the newtons, and the Coulomb into Coulomb square. Newton meter square per Coulomb square. That is the epsilon naught value. And one more you have to remember here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, here it is equal 9 into 10 to the power 9. 9 into 10 to the power 9. What is that here? It is equal 9 into 10 to the power 9. So this can be stay here, and the entire value, it is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Okay, so here the epsilon naught, it is equal Coulomb square per Newton meter square. So here, so if the epsilon should be common, then Q1 Q2 by FR square, it is Coulomb square by Newton meter square. The units are also very important here. Okay, first suppose if two charges are having the 1 Coulomb charge and 1 Coulomb charge are separated in a 1 meter distance. 1 Coulomb of charge and another Coulomb of charge. If two equal amount of charges are separated in a 1 meter distance, then the force of attraction or the repulsion should be how much here? 1 into 1 by 1 square. It is 1 square by 1 square, it is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. How much 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught? That is nothing but 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, it is equal, F it is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Right? That much of Newton force should be acting. So here, what I am saying, it is easy. If Q1 it is equal, how we can write? If Q1 is equal, Q2 is equal 1 Coulomb charge, and R it is equal 1 meter distance, then F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught newtons. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, how much it is? 9 into 10 to the power 9. So therefore F it is equal 9 into 10 to the power 9 newtons. If two 1 Coulomb charges are separated in 1 meter distance, if two 1 Coulomb of charges are separated in 1 meter of distance, then the force of attraction or the repulsion should be acting. The amount, it is 9 into 10 to the power 9 newtons. So that is very important. Okay, and if two bodies are separated in the medium, so this is the vacuum. If there should be separated in a medium, any other medium, air medium or some whatever the medium it is, so then you can write the force of attraction, it is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square. So this is the medium. This is in the medium. So this is vacuum. The force of attraction, it is the vacuum. It is F. It is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Let it be F1 and let it be F2. Okay. So now we have to find vacuum by F vacuum by F medium. Then it is equal How we can write that? Epsilon by epsilon naught. It is equal to. So F1 by F2. F vacuum by F2. So that is equal epsilon by epsilon naught. This is equal epsilon R. This is equal epsilon R. So what is epsilon R here? The epsilon R, it is the relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. Very important. Relative permittivity. Or it can be said to be, that is dielectric constant. Dielectric constant. Dielectric constant. It has no units. It has no units. Why? Because it is the ratio of two equal physical components. So this is also permittivity of the medium, permittivity of the free space. So these two are the permittivities, hence it has no units. Okay, the relative permittivity has no units. So this is the clear idea about the Coulomb's inverse square law. So this is very important for the board examinations. You should write only up to here also. Here, then it will be enough in the examinations. Okay, right. And now we have to study about the electric field. So what is the electric field? So every charge can exhibit some distance of its power. So that attraction power, it is called the electric field. So for suppose it is a charge Q, the force of attraction of another body, is located in some distance. First, suppose if there is a body, another body, that is Q1, it will not be affected by the Q. If there is another body, another charge, it is Q2, it will not be affected by the Q. If there is a charge Q3, that will be affected by the charge Q. So if a charge, how much distance it will be, gives the effect on another body or another charge, that is the electric field. So what is meant by electric field? Electric field, it is nothing but a charge. If a charge, how much distance the effect was given to the another charge, that is the electric field. So every particle consisting electric field around of it, right? So here we need to learn about the intensity of electric field. Right? So that is nothing but E, intensity of electric field. So intensity of electric field, it is nothing but the force experienced on the unit positive charge or unit charge in a electric field, is called intensity of the electric field. So the force experienced on the unit charge. So first, suppose if there is a charge Q, it has the electric field around of it. This is the electric field around of it. The force experienced on the unit charge. So here there is a unit charge, that is Q0. So here the force experienced on the unit charge by the, what is that? By the charge Q, F by Q0. So this is the intensity of electric field. So the intensity of electric field is same at all the points inside of the field. That is the main point you have to remember here. The intensity of electric field inside of the field at all the points it is equal. For suppose if there is a charge q1, if there is a charge q2, if there is a charge q3, so whatever the point here, how much distance they will be located inside of the field, the intensity of the electric field is equal, right? So that is the intensity of the force experienced on the unit charge in a electric field, that is called intensity of the electric field. So it can be written as intensity of electric field E, it is equal force by charge Q. It is Q or Q naught. So force experienced on the charge. Force experienced on the charge. So it can be written as intensity of electric field. The unit it is Newton per Coulomb. Newton per Coulomb. So this is the intensity of electric field. Okay. Now let us find the derivation for the intensity of electric field. Okay. Let us write derivation. Derivation for intensity of electric field. So this is also 4 marks board examination question. You should focus on it. So how you can derive it? So first suppose if there is a charge Q is at point O. So this charge may contains electric field around of it. Let it be, imagine the electric field is around of the charge Q. And there is a point charge here. This is the Q1, let it be, and here this is the Q2. If there is a point charge here. So this charge is at point P. So here Q1 charge is at point O, Q2 charge is at point P. So from O to P, there is some distance here. From O to P, there is some distance here. So from the Coulomb's inverse square law, earlier we had to study, if two charges are separated in a small distance, then the force of attraction or the repulsion should be acting between them. That is F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q, Q1, Q2 by R square. So this is the force acting between them. The force of attraction or the force of repulsion acting between them. It is F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1, Q2 by R square. Now by the definition of the intensity of electric field, force experienced on the positive charge in a field. So now the force experienced on the field on the positive charge, which charge? Q2 charge. So that is equal to intensity of electric field. It can be written as, so 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by R square. Q1 by R square. So this is the intensity of electric field. This is very simple. Very simple derivation. E is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 by R square. Okay. So what is the charge is inside of the field? That charge should be, will not be appears in the equation. That is the main important. So which charge is experienced by the force? That charge will not be appears in the equation. Okay, so this is the intensity of electric field. Right? So simple one step answer. Okay? So there is some matters you have to write. How can the forces should be, how can the charges should be separated in a small distance, then the force should be acting. So then the force acting per unit charge and it should be given to us intensity of electric field, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 by R square. Okay. Simply you can write that where from the Coulomb's inverse square law, F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. From the definition of the E, F by Q. F by Q naught or Q. So whatever the charge you have to let it be Q1 or Q2. So then if Q2 should be, so then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 by Q1 by R square. So this is the intensity of electric field. So just there is a slight variation from the force and to the intensity. In the force acting Q1 Q2 by R square, but in the intensity only one charge is there. The other charge is affected by the force. That is the main important you have to remember here. Right? So this is the intensity of the electric field and the derivation of it. And next. So the intensity of electric field in case of electric dipole. Electric dipole. So what is an electric dipole? What is an electric dipole? So let's simply electric dipole. So this is also very important. The electric dipole, it is nothing but if two equal and opposite charges, if two equal and opposite charges are separated in a small distance, that is nothing but separated in a small distance, that is A and A, it is distance, it is equal to A. If two equal and opposite charges, equal means Q and Q, these are the equal, this is plus Q and this is minus Q. If two equal and opposite charges are, this is minus Q and this is plus Q. If two equal and opposite charges are separated in a small distance, that is 2a, then this arrangement is known as an electric dipole. This arrangement is known as an electric dipole. So what is a dipole? Electric dipole. If two equal and opposite charges are separated in a small distance, that is 2a distance, then this arrangement is known as an electric dipole. So this is the electric dipole here. This is the electric dipole. So vectorically, the distance between these two electric dipole, that is the 2a. So this is the vector form of the distance between the two charges. And the direction should be minus Q2, direction should be minus Q2 plus Q. Direction should be minus Q2 plus Q. So this is the electric dipole. So this electric dipole should be kept inside the uniform electric field. Kept inside the uniform electric field, then what will be act? So that is the question 2 in the board examinations. The couple acting on the electric dipole when it is kept in uniform electric field. Uniform electric field లోకి ఒక ఎలక్ట్రిక్ డైపోల్ ని ఉంచినప్పుడు దానిపైన ఎంత టార్క్ యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద మోటో యూ హావ్ టు ఫైండ్. లెట్ us see. So let us find couple acting on the electric dipole. Couple acting or torque. So this is the uniform electric field. The electric field which is uniform at all the charges, all the points. So this is the direction of the electric field. In the electric field, we have to keep an electric dipole. So this is the electric dipole. So this is the minus Q charge and this is the plus Q charge. Plus Q and minus Q. Right? So here, the force act, this is the field, electric field, intensity of electric field. The force experienced on the charge minus Q, that is F is equal EQ minus EQ. From E is equal F by Q. F is equal EQ. This is along with the downwards. The force experienced on the E, so this is the here plus Q, that is F is equal plus EQ. Right? So this is the 2a distance here. A and A, that is 2A distance. Here you have to write 2A. Okay. So here, whenever two equal and opposite, this is the force of EQ, this is the force of EQ, but it is positive direction, it is negative direction. This force should be acting in upwards, this force should be acting in downwards. If two equal and opposite forces are acting on a single body, then the body should be rotated with some angle. If the body should be rotated with some angle, so in this direction, right? Then with rotate some angle, then the torque should be acting on that. The torque should be acting. Torque should be acts. Right? Torque should be acts. So that torque it is equal. The torque it is equal. What is the torque? It is force into force. It is nothing but any other force. So here you have to write any other force because of the forces are equal. Any other force into perpendicular distance. Let it be find the perpendicular distance. So what is the perpendicular distance? This is the force acting in upwards, right? So this is the force acting in downwards. The perpendicular distance it is. This is the perpendicular distance. Okay? And here this is the theta. This is the theta. And let it be. So here A and this is B and this is C. From the Pythagoras theorem, so where you have to find the AC value. AC it is the opposite of the theta. So then you have to AC should be find out sin theta it is equal. What is that? AC by AB. So AC by AB it is equal to 2A distance. So AC it is equal to 2A sin theta. So then torque tau it is equal. You can write that any other force it is equal EQ. F is equal. What is the force here? EQ into 2A sin theta. And here you can write E into 2AQ sin theta. Okay. So here you can write that 2AQ is the P momentum into E sin theta. PE sin theta. So tau is equal PE sin theta. Tau is equal PE sin theta. P it is the momentum of the dipole. The product of distance and to the charge of a dipole. The product of distance between two charges and to the charge of a dipole is called dipole moment. Right? So therefore tau is equal P sin theta. It should be written as tau is equal P cross E. This is the vector form of the torque acting on a dipole which is kept in a uniform electric field. This is very, very important. Okay, whenever an electric dipole should be kept in a uniform electric field, then the torque should be acting here. The torque it is equal any other force into perpendicular distance. So here two equal and opposite forces should be acting on the dipole. Whenever two equal and opposite forces should be acting on an object, it will be rotate some angle. That angle it is equal theta. So here you have to find that perpendicular distance here. The perpendicular distance it is equal AC from the diagram. You have to find that AC is equal to 2A sin theta, where 2AQ it is equal momentum, dipole momentum P. It is equal P cross E. It is nothing but PE sin theta. This is the vector form of the couple acting on a electric dipole which is in a uniform electric field. Very, very important. Okay. So this is the IPE question for the couple acting on a electric dipole. Okay. Torque acting on the electric dipole in an uniform electric field, that is tau is equal to PE sin theta, where tau should be written as P cross E in vectorically, right? So when the torque it is maximum and when the torque is minimum. So let us write. If theta is equal 90 degrees, if theta is equal 90, then you can substitute sin 90, it is equal 1. Therefore tau it is equal PE sin 90, it is equal to 1, PE into 1 it is PE. So this can be the maximum. So when did the torque should be maximum? If theta is equal 90 degrees. And if theta is equal 0 degrees, then sin 0 it is equal 0. Therefore tau should be PE into sin 0, 0. PE into 0 it is equal 0. It should be minimum. So when did the tau will be minimum? If theta is equal 0, then only the torque should be minimum. So this is the condition for the maximum and minimum torque acting on the electric dipole, right? In a uniform electric field, right? Let us find the intensity of electric field. The intensity of electric field at an axial point. And the intensity of electric field at an equatorial point. Okay. So intensity of electric field. Very important. Intensity of electric field at an axial point. Or axial line. So now let you know about the axial line and we have to find intensity of electric field. Okay. So very important board examinations. It is 4 marks question. Okay. Right. So here there is a charge. At first here you have to take an electric dipole which is having equal and opposite charges. In a shortest distance, separated in a shortest distance, that is A and A. So this is equal to A distance, right? The axial line, it is meaning that the line which is joining two charges of a dipole, that line it is the axial line. So this is the axial line left side and this is the axial line right side. Now we have to assume a charge which is on the axial line, either this side or this side. At the axial line point, the intensity of electric field should be acting by the plus q charge and also the intensity of electric field by acting by the minus q charges. So then you have to find the net intensity of electric field, that is the intensity of electric field at a axial point. Okay, got it. So this is the axial line. So let a point P, a charge Q is located at the point P, or nothing but here it is a point. So at this point the intensity of electric field should be acting by the plus q charge, whatever it is, and also the intensity of electric field will be acting by the minus q charge on that point, and then we have to add both the intensity of electric fields, then you can get the net intensity of electric field. So here we have to let the point should be separated in a distance from the center of the dipole, that is equal, how much distance here? The distance it is equal r, small r distance. The point P is at r distance. Okay, and now minus q charge is at point A and plus q charge is at point B. Okay, and the center point origin it is O. Okay, so let us write the intensity of electric field. Already we derived that intensity of electric field. The basic equation it is E is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. From this you have to find the intensity of electric field acting by the plus q charge and the intensity of electric field acting by the minus q charge, where on the axial line point. Okay, right. Intensity of electric field, intensity of an electric field, intensity of an electric field by plus q charge, by the plus q charge, that is nothing but E by the plus q. It is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by, right? What is that here? What is that? Distance. How much distance from B to P? So it is equal to BP square. R square, R it is the distance, here BP it is the distance. Because of by the plus q charge. Okay, now we have to find the distance between the B and to the P. How much distance here? It is easy. From O to P, it is equal, what is that? O to P R. Okay, from O to P it is equal A. If R minus A should be BP. Okay, since here, what is that? OP is equal smaller, OP is equal smaller, and OB is equal O to B it is equal to A, and now we have to find BP. So BP it is equal, what is BP here? OP minus OB. It is equal BP it is equal to R minus A. OP is equal to R, OB is equal to A. So then you have to find E plus Q it is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by, what is that? R minus A whole square. This is equation 1. Got it? And now we have to find intensity of electric field, by minus q charge, So here, from here, this charge should be acting on the point P, right? This intensity, the force acting on that point, it is the intensity of electric field by the minus q charge. So therefore E minus Q it is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by, what is that? From A to P. From A to P it is nothing but AP square. Got it? So what is AP here? How we can find the AP value? Where AP is equal AO plus OP. From diagram you can write AP is equal to AO plus OP. AO, it is AO, small a, and OP, it is equal to small r. It is equal to R plus A. So AP is equal to R plus A. Right? Then you have to write here E minus Q is equal to, it is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R plus A whole square. This is equation 2. So from these two we can find that the net intensity of electric field acts on the point, so this is R minus A here, acts on the point which is on the axial line, right? So here R plus A. Very simple, don't confuse. Okay. So now we have to find net intensity of electric field. Let us see how we can find. Right? All of you take the screenshot and write the notes. Right? Okay. So how we can find? Let us see. So let us see. So net intensity of electric field, it is equal to E plus Q and plus of E minus Q. Intensity of electric field by the plus Q charge, intensity of electric field by the minus Q charge. Right? So basically you have to understand here, the intensity of electric field by the plus Q charge is more than compared to the intensity of electric field by the minus q charge, because of the plus q charge is nearer to the point, right? And the minus q charge is far away to the point. Hence, this field intensity will be maximum, this intensity will be minimum. So hence you have to write that how we can find E net, it is equal, what is E plus Q here? From equation 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R minus A whole square, and minus, how we can take the minus? Because of it is less to compare the positive charge. Therefore, how E minus Q it is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R plus A whole square, right? Let us simplify here. Right. Let us simplify. Q into 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught should be common. It is equal to 1 by R minus A whole square minus 1 by R plus A whole square. Right? A minus B into A plus B. A square minus B square. So then 4 pi epsilon naught, it is equal, what is that? A square minus B square. A square minus B square whole square. Already the whole square is there. So here A minus B, then you can write A plus B. Right? And minus here A plus B, and you have to write A minus B whole square. So this is the LCM. Just simple. A minus B into A plus B. A square minus B square. It is R square minus A square. Whole square already will be there. So if LCM R minus A whole square is there, if you have to take the R plus A whole square, minus R plus A whole square is there, if you have to take the R minus A whole square. So let it be simplified. It is Q into 4 pi epsilon naught A plus B whole square. It is equal R square plus A square plus 2AR minus R square minus A square minus 2AR, it is plus 2AR. So actually R square plus A square minus 2AR. So minus will be multiplied with them. Then you have to get this one. So therefore R square minus A square whole square. So here minus R square plus A square minus A square 2AR it is equal 4AR. It is Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into what is that? 4AR by R square minus A square. What is that? Whole square. Okay. So this is the E net. So just simplify. You have to simplify them. How we can get? It is 4AR should be written as E net, it is equal Q by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay. This can be written as 2A into 2R. 2A into 2R, it is 4AR by R square minus A square whole square. Okay. So here you can write 2A into Q. It is equal 2A into Q. 2A into Q is equal to dipole momentum. So already know that the dipole momentum, the product of distance between the dipole and to the charge of a dipole, that is the dipole moment. So you can write 2A into Q is equal P. So then E net is equal, what is you have to write? It is 2A into Q is the P and 2R. It is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2PR. 2PR here 2R and 2AQ is the P. So therefore R square minus A square whole square. Okay. And next, if we have to here, if R definitely R is very much greater than A value. So R it is, this is the R value. So the axial line point is always far away, outside of the dipole, always outside of the dipole. Hence, the R value must be greater than to the small a value. So therefore A neglected. Here A neglects. So then A will be neglects this value. It is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2pr by A square value should be omitted. It is r square whole square, it is r power 4. So r and 1 r should be cancelled out, whereas r cube will be there. It is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube. 2p by r cube. So this is the intensity of electric field acts on the intensity of electric field acts on the axial line of a dipole. Axial line of a dipole, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube. P it is equal, what is that? Dipole moment here. P it is equal dipole moment. Very important question. So don't confuse to solve the question. So answer, it is very easy to simplify. So it is very easy to mathematicians. Okay, I understand. So if you have to doubt, you have to recheck our videos, and then you can definitely get the idea, right? So the intensity of electric field at the point E net should be here. That is how much here? It is equal this much of intensity of electric field should be acting. Okay, right. So let us find the intensity of electric field at equatorial point of a dipole. So now we have to find the intensity of electric field at an axial point, right? So at present you should derive the intensity of electric field at an equatorial point. So what is the equatorial point here? Right? Now let us find the intensity of electric field at a point on the equatorial line. Intensity of electric field at an equatorial point. So what is the equatorial point here, right? So here let us take in a dipole, that is plus q and minus q charges are separated in a small distance, that is a to a distance. Okay, so the line which is separated two equal parts of a dipole. So the line which is divide two equal parts of a dipole. So this is the equatorial point. Okay, and now we have to find, this point should be P. Now we have to find the intensity of electric field at the point. Okay, so here the intensity should be acts by the positive charge, and here the intensity should be acting by negative charge. Okay, so here the point it is A, and the point it is B, and here point it is P. So this is the origin point. The equatorial point, the point P is located from the distance of R. Okay, so let us see here, the distance from AP is equal to BP here. So this is the important point you have to remember. But in the previous case of an axial line, AP is not equal to BP, right? The distances are unequal. But here the distance is same. So if the distance is same, the intensity of electric field acting by the plus q charge and acting by the minus q charge are also same. Okay, so here the net intensity of electric field here should be acting. So this is the intensity of electric field in this direction, and this is the intensity of electric field in this direction. This is E plus Q and this is E minus Q, right? So this is the point here. The normal intensity of electric field should be acting here by the plus Q, and the opposite normal intensity of electric field should be acting here minus Q. So this is the normal, that is perpendicular. The intensity of electric field should be divided into two components, that is vertical component and to the horizontal component. So here the vertical components are cancelled out each other. So this plus q and this minus q, opposite to nature. But here the net intensity of electric field which will be acting here, it is E net, it is equal, here there is some angle theta and angle theta, it is E cos theta plus E cos theta, because of the intensity of electric field along with the vertical direction, that is E sin theta, and the horizontal component, that is E cos theta, where by the plus q charge it is E cos theta and minus q charge it is E cos theta. Therefore it is equal to 2E cos theta. So here E net it is equal to 2E cos theta. Okay. So what is E here? Intensity of electric field acting by the either plus q charge or the minus q charge. Because of the two charges are same distances. Two charges are located here. AP distance how much it has, and BP also have the same distance. Okay. So first suppose you have to write the intensity of electric field by the, so let us write from here. The intensity of electric field by the plus q charge, it is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by the plus q charge it is AP square. AP square. So this is the distance. So from Pythagoras theorem, this triangle we have to write that AP square is equal side square plus side square, r square plus a square. It is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square plus a square. So this is intensity of electric field by the plus q charge, right? And similarly, intensity of electric field by the negative charge, it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by, what is that? BP square. BP square. So the BP square, it is from this right angle triangle, you have to write BP square is equal side square plus side square, a square plus r square. It is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square plus a square. It is E minus q. So this is also the same. So here you have to observe the E plus q and E minus q. The intensity of electric fields are both are same. Okay. So let us find here the cos theta value. So here this is the theta. Here this is the. Where the intensity of electric field here, that is you have to find the E value, any other E value here, and we have to take that find cos theta value. Where? So this is the theta here. From cos theta you have to write that cos theta it is equal adjacent by hypotenuse, that is adjacent by hypotenuse, that is A by, what is hypotenuse here? Under root of r square plus a square. Under root of r square plus a square. Okay. Let us write. So here, where you have to substitute here the net intensity of electric field, E net, it is equal to 2 into E. What is E? If we have to take in this value or this value, so then it is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square plus a square into E net is equal to E cos theta. What is cos theta here? A by under root of r square plus a square. So here r square plus a square, r square plus a square. This can be said, here we can write that 2 into q into a, 2a into q by 4 pi epsilon naught, it is r square plus a square, it is r square plus a square whole power 1 by 2. So square root should be written as 1 by 2. So bases are equal, the power should be added here. So how we can add 1 plus 1 by 2, it is 3 by 2. 2aq, it is nothing but P. So momentum, it is equal to A into Q. Hence you can write that E net is equal to, what is that? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, it is P by r square plus a square whole power 3 by 2. It is 1 plus 1 by 2, it is equal to 3 by 2. So just simply have to apply this rule, that is r is very much greater than a. So this is the A value and this is the R value. R it is always longer than to the A value. So hence A should be neglects. If A should be neglects, then above equation should be E net is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by what is that? R square whole power 3 by 2. R square whole power 3 by 2. And the square and 2 will be cancelled out. It is R cube only remaining here. Therefore, E net is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P by R cube. P by R cube. So this is the intensity of electric field at an equal point. This is the intensity of electric field. Okay. So this is very important for the board examinations. At this one and at an axial line also. Okay. Understand? Simply you have to remember here. So already you find that. So let us take a screenshot and write a notes. And here simply you have to write that. Already you know that the intensity of electric field at an axial line, E at axial, it is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2p by r cube. 2p by r cube. And now the intensity of electric field at an equatorial line. So the equatorial line should be divided 2 equal parts of the axial line. 2 equal parts of the axial line. That is nothing but this line. This is the line which is the axial. Okay. So then this intensity of electric field will be divided by 2 times. So here you have to write that it is E axial by 2. Got it? E axial by 2. Already how much the E axial it is? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 2p by r cube by 2. 2 will be cancelled out, then remaining it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p by r cube. So this is the E equatorial. E equatorial which we are derived. So this is the equatorial point. Right? I understand? So the intensity of electric field at an axial line is twice of intensity of electric field at equatorial point. Axial line మీద ఉన్న intensity of electric field అనేది ఈక్వటోరియల్ మీద ఉన్నటువంటి intensity of electric field కి 2 రెట్లు ఉంటుంది. అర్థమైందా? అంటే ఈక్వటోరియల్ పైన ఉన్నటువంటి intensity of electric field axial line మీద ఉన్నటువంటి intensity of electric field లో సగం ఉంటుందని అర్థం. అర్థమైంది కదా? Right. And now we have to find some numericals in case of Coulomb's inverse square law. So there is a 2 marks important problem is there. So that is what should be the force acting between two charges when distance is halved and distance is doubled. Right? What is the force acting between two charges when distance is halved and distance is doubled? So the force acting between two charges by the Coulomb's inverse square law, we have to write that F is equal 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So here the change it is the distance. If one say the distance is halved and the other the distance is doubled. So F inversely proportional 1 by R square. So this is the relation here. Okay. Here you can write that F1 R1 square it is equal F2 R2 square. F1 R1 square is equal F2 R2 square. Okay. Now if F1 is equal to F, then F2 it is equal how much? If R1 is equal to R, and R2 is equal, at first case R2 is equal half, it means R by 2. Then substituted, you have to get F2 will be written as F2 it is equal F1 R1 square by R2 square. It is equal, F1 means F into R1 square, R square by R2 square. It is R square by 4. R by 2 whole square, it is R square by 4. It is equal, F2 is equal, it is equal 4F R square by R square. R square cancelled out. It is equal 4F. It is equal 4F. If the distance will be off, if the distance will be off between two charges, then the force will be what is that? 4F. 4 times of force will be increases. Now the second case, if the distance is doubled, if R2 is equal to R, doubled, R1 is equal to R, R2 is equal to R, F1 is equal to F, F2 is equal how much? Let us find. Where F2 is equal F1 R1 square by R2 square. What is F1? F here. R1 how much it is? R. What is R2 here? 2R. 2R square it is 4R square. It is R square and R square will be cancelled out. It is F by 4. So F2 it is equal F by 4. If the distance will be doubled, if the discharge will be kept at this much of distance, so the distance will be 2R, R it is equal to R, then the force acting between these two will be decreases. How much it will be decreases? F2 it is equal F by 4 times. Okay? If the distance will be decreases, force will be increases. How much force? 4 times of force. How much force will be decreases? 4th time of force will be decreases. 4th part of the force. Okay? So this is the very important model for the 2 marks question. And one more question it is, you have to learn about the Gauss law. Gauss law in electricity. Gauss law in electrostatics. Okay? So how we can find, how we can derive the, how we can define the Gauss law and what is the importance of the Gauss law? Here you have to see. Gauss law. So before going to learn about the Gauss law, you have to know about the electric flux. Electric flux. So electric flux, it is nothing but can be denoted by the letter phi. Phi. So here the number of electric lines, passing through the electric lines passing perpendicular to the through the unit surface area, unit given surface area is called electric flux. The number of electric lines passing perpendicular through the unit given surface area is called electric flux, denoted by pi. Okay, so if there is a surface, if you have to take a unit surface area, how many lines will be moving perpendicular or normal to the surface area, that is the electric flux here. So this electric flux, it is equal integral of E dot ds. So for the dot product, you have to write that integral of, so this integral, circle integral means closed surface. EDS cos theta. It will be EDS integral of EDS cos theta. Okay. And then, so it is equal, if theta and the passing line through the intensity of electric field and the angle between intensity of electric field and to the surface area, that is theta, it is equal to always 0. So then intensity of electric field pi, it is equal integral EDS. So this is the net flux. This is the net flux through the given surface area. So by the Gauss theorem, we have to explain the net flux through the net electric flux through the closed surface. The net electric flux. The net electric flux. What is that? Phi net. The net electric flux through the closed surface. Is 1 by epsilon naught times of charge enclosed by the surface. So very important definition. Charge enclosed by the surface. It means the charge enclosed by the surface, it is equal Q. The net electric flux, it is equal 1 by epsilon naught times of the charge enclosed by the surface. How much charge should be enclosed here? Q. Therefore phi net, it is equal 1 by epsilon naught into Q. What is phi net here? Integral E dot ds, it is equal Q by epsilon naught. So this is very important. This is the Gauss law. So what is the importance of the Gauss law? So the importance of the Gauss law, we have to find the relation between the intensity of electric field. The intensity of electric field of the closed surface you have to find very easily. By the using of the Gauss law, we have to find the first important advantage, it is find the intensity of electric field of any surface. And next, second one, we have to derive so many complicated equations will be solved by the symmetric equations will be solved by the Gauss law. Symmetry will be solved by the Gauss law. Okay, so these are the main advantages we have to by the Gauss law. So Gauss law, it is nothing but the net electric flux through the closed surface is 1 by epsilon naught times of the charge enclosed by the surface. 1 by epsilon naught times of the charge. Net electric flux, it is nothing but E dot ds. Already you have to find that. So this is the Gauss law, and that is the importance of the Gauss law, right? So in this video we are explaining all the content related to the board examinations. 1 or 2 for the 2 marks questions, it will not be not covered. So maybe I will be make another video at the time of examination. So this is very important. You have to practice with one shot video. So thank you. Please like our video and share to your friends and follow our channel, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.